in Milton Keynes. It is semi-finals time, and Lisa Ashton is about to take on Beau Greaves for a place in the final. It's their 15th meeting. Beau Greaves leads the head-to-head 8-6.
25.
Having won the last 4 matches that these two have played against each other, and 3 of them have been very convincing indeed. 1 5-0, 1 4-0, 1 4-1, and then a 5-4, which was
25.
in the final of Women's Series 18. It is an intriguing battle, and Lisa Ashton, certainly with the performances we've seen from her so far today, will feel that she is well equipped indeed to pose a significant threat to Beau Greaves, who is looking to once again go on another impressive run here at the Super Series. Of course, Lisa Ashton getting the better of her daughter Lisa Ashton by 5 legs to 0 in the quarterfinals. Who needs enemies, eh? When you've got a daughter and a mother like that. But in our other semi-final, Fallon Sherrock leads Kirsty Hutchinson by 2 legs to 0. So, Chris Murphy, we said that there may be a bit of a changing of the guard. It is still possible that we see a Lisa Ashton-Fallon Sherrock final here in the first event of the weekend.
46. Yeah, and that would make things very interesting based on the fact that we haven't seen that so far this year, when we seem to see it most weekends in most previous years of the Women's Series.
60.
But you made the point about Lisa playing Lindsay in the quarter, and we've said that Fallon Sherrock and her sister play in this tournament. Well, Beau Greaves actually won the Welsh Open pairs with her brother, didn't she? Just last weekend, Taylor and Beau taking the title. And in the semi-finals of the singles event, that's when Beau Greaves beat Lisa Ashton with the highest average ever recorded by a woman anywhere, 113.43.
Yeah, I think her brother played a significant role in Beau Greaves getting involved with darts in the first place. So nice to see. I know he did take a bit of time away from playing himself, took a bit of a backseat, but great to see him back on the board and competing with Beau.
41.
In that event at the weekend. Of course, a very successful weekend for Beau Greaves herself, and she is on 140 after 15 in this one. Very little pressure applied, so Greaves with time on her side in this opening leg. First to 5, of course, in the semi-final stage.
Yeah, she's been the best player of the day by a distance, an average for the day of more than 94, and 2 of her 5 matches have seen her average in 3 figures. 106.83, the match we saw streamed earlier against Fajardo Ayuso, and then 101.55 in the quarter-final against Anke Zylstra. Double 10.
80.
It's a bit of a sluggish start, to be fair, by both of these players' standards in this semi-final showdown.
Yeah, way off the pace you expect
84.
from either of those in general and based on what we've seen today. But Beau Greaves does eventually tidy it up. Not often we see her with a 22 dart leg.
Just to contrast as well, Lisa Ashton 15 points lower in the averages for the day than Beau Greaves. He's actually only hit 180. Now, it should have been back-to-back 180s in the match we saw streamed here. She had a bounce out, didn't she? But that was the only maximum she hit. Beau Greaves has 8 in her 5 matches. Fallon Sherrock is a lot closer to that standard, 88.26 her average across her 5 matches today, and 5 maximums for her.
84.
And Kirsty Hutchinson, of course, the other semi-finalist, taking on Sherrock right now, but trailing 3-1.
134.
Yeah, Fallon Sherrock, we talked about the start she'd made to the year. Sat rather precariously in the top 8 in the race for the match play. But we know what she does when her back's against the wall, when that pressure's been applied, and she's certainly adding some valuable points, some valuable money onto her prize money in that race, of course. And up to 5th now. She did start the day in 7th in that particular race, up to 5th. Behind Beau Greaves, Mikuru Suzuki, Lisa Ashton and Rhian O'Sullivan.
Both players much better in this second leg.
100.
And Greaves on a finish after a dozen darts.
$56.
Yeah, she perhaps doesn't look quite as comfortable as she did earlier, but she could be about to proved me wrong. Almost. You thought when those first two went in that she'd easily pin the 777, but she hadn't looked as comfortable up until that point. She will be returning.
And no reason for that. We know Lisa Ashton's a legend of the game, but as Abby mentioned at the start of this match, Greaves has rattled off 4 straight victories, and Ashton hasn't had a win since September last year over Beau Greaves. And only has 1 win ever in the women's series, and that was when Beau was really struggling with dartitis back in 2020. Something else she's overcome at such a young age. It's amazing to think she's still only 18 years old, Beau Greaves. Could really be a generational talent, and
81.
We might only be at the start of the story.
Yeah, it does feel that way, because you do feel that she has more gears, and I know when we were waiting for her to move across to play in these PDC Women's Series events, we were all so eager to see her. But she's certainly someone who, it's fair to say, is on her own journey. She's going to do things on her own terms, and she's not going to be rushed to do things. I think I quite like that approach, especially with what she's been through with the dartitis. I think we just have to trust her pace is the right one, because, of course, as fans, we're greedy. We want to see her in as many things as possible, but she needs to do this on her own terms, and also get that enjoyment that she gets from other events outside of the PDC as well. That's such a huge thing for her. But 46. Lisa Ashton certainly up in the tempo in this third leg, 78 after 9.
Well, this is a
56.
Well, it started off bizarrely. 78 after 9. She went for a
56
treble 20 for some reason. She's ended up then going for the 18 correctly, hitting the double, ending up on double 11. It could all still get very messy for Lisa Ashton after such a
96
sublime spell of darts in this leg. There's the problem. 3 for double 4. Well, now
2 left.
Double 1.
No score.
Yeah, having left herself on 78 after 9, this is all going horribly wrong for Lisa Ashton, who could now find herself 3-0 down. But reprieve for Lisa Ashton.
Yeah, well, she's going straight for it again. Does have the option of splitting, and that's you can see the reaction there. Well, she's having to step a long way across to try and open up the bed, but what a dart that is for Lisa Ashton. Fabulous, fabulous dart. She completely blocked the bed, but somehow found her way in. Well, now the play really motoring here, Abby, and it's Fallon Sherrock who's made a bit of a statement in her semi-final. She's won it 5-1 against Kirsty Hutchinson, and she's averaged just shy of 92 in that one. So she awaits the winner in the final of the first event of the weekend.
45.
Yeah, and she really does make a habit of doing this, doesn't she? When we stop talking about her as much, when she's not one of the names, it's all been about Beau Greaves, Mikuru Suzuki, and this is what Fallon Sherrock then does. She has been so consistent throughout the day's play, just going about her business.
180.
And it is, of course, her first final since October of last year, which was Women's Series 95. Event 19, where she lost out, of course, to Beau Greaves. We mentioned it earlier, Beau with that 107.86 average.
Maybe starting to raise it again here, a 9th 180 of the day for Beau Greaves. Still not on a finish, though, so it's advantage Ashton in leg 4.
95.
She pursues parity. 107 when she comes back. What kind of pressure will she be under?
100.
Well, enough.
And tops to level 87. Things up, but just inside. So Beau Greaves to extend her lead once again. Now her turn for tops.
36.
She misses the other side.
Well, you know, that prospect of a Sherrock Ashton final for old time's sake may be very much on the cards here. Wayward one, double 7.
6.
Can't be rescued, and just as it looked like Ashton was working her way back into this match, she's passed up the opportunity to restore a level game, and Greaves has broken, and now will throw for 4-1.
Yeah, and we mentioned that Lisa hasn't made it to a final for longer than we expect, really.
180.
She would have seen this as such a fantastic opportunity as Beau Greaves piles in a 180 there. She would have seen this as one of her best opportunities
79.
to get the better of Beau Greaves, because it's not often that you'll meet Beau in the semi-final of an event like this where she's averaging around the 80 mark and opening the door for you so many
100.
times. So she'll feel that she's really letting a fantastic opportunity slip here. And interestingly, on Fallon Sherrick as well, that almost 11 months since she won one of these events as well. It was in June of last year that she last picked up a title. So interesting to see how she performs in that final too.
122.
Yeah, the 180 at the start of this leg from Beau Greaves, her 10th of the tournament.
100.
And it will be a thrilling final. Well, whoever wins this match, it will be, but the significant match was that final
59.
in Wigan between Greaves and Fallon Sherrick that kind of sorted a lot of things out in the women's series last year. Beau Greaves took out a
59.
stunning tide-turning finish, didn't she? 148 in that one, and averaged 107 and change. So simple double 10 she wants here for a 4-1 lead. Double 5.
Game shot.
Sneaks it in the corner, and now Lisa Ashton finds herself in a corner.
Yeah, of course, there's not the tension surrounding that fixture that there was when they met at that point last year, but it is still such a crunch clash because these are two women who are tussling, if you like, maybe not in their own minds, but in many of the viewers' eyes as to who is the best player.
Yeah, but I have to give full credit to Fallon Sherrick even for getting to the final, because Beau Greaves was already in Blackpool. Now, Fallon, as a defending champion, isn't yet. She was in 7th spot. By getting to the final, already provisionally up to 4th now. And the big four
58.
are actually in sort of order in that race, aren't they? Greaves, Suzuki, Ashton, Sherrick. And if
139.
Sherrick were to win the final, she would move into position 3 in that race.
Yeah, it just shows as well how brutal that open draw can be, because Mikuru Suzuki, of course, no opportunity to add to her prize
39.
fund in the first event because she ran into Rhiannon O'Sullivan. So one of those two was going to lose a bit of ground in that race. But it does look like we'll be seeing Mikuru Suzuki
99.
at the Winter Gardens. Beau Greaves, of course, we know we'll be seeing her.
The interesting one is Lisa Ashton. I think we'll be seeing her there as well. I think all of those, probably the top 6, you can sort of write in at least semi-permanent marker as Ashton looks at tops and then 10s here. But the interesting
60.
one is the actual order of merit, the main order of merit that started at the start of this year, because Lisa Ashton is the one that's actually sitting currently in 7th. She's behind Kim
99.
Holden, she's behind Robin Byrne, she's behind Rhiannon O'Sullivan.
Game shot.
So she would love to make a statement this weekend and return to winning ways, as I'm sure Fallon Sherrick would as well. And she hasn't lost this match yet.
Yeah, even more interestingly, Lisa Ashton started this weekend in the Order of Merit in 10th. She was quite some way
43.
off, having amassed just £750 after the first weekend of events.
Lindsay was catching her, wasn't she? Could have
She
been
was.
the second best Ashton.
139.
No doubt about who was the best Ashton in that quarter-final, though.
Yeah, Mum just dishing out a little reminder. I know we've seen it with Lorraine Winstanley and Josie Patterson
100.
previously, where Lorraine dished out a similar reminder to daughter. But it must play on your mind
99.
somewhat, I think, when you're in that dynamic. You know, we kind of pass it off in commentary as daughter and mother, but surely you can't escape that. It's more than just two friends meeting, isn't it?
140.
Yeah, but I also think that there's probably a level of comfort in playing somebody that you've probably practiced with
82.
many times.
Yeah, you're probably more likely to forget etiquette up there because you're so used to just playing it in such a
180.
relaxed environment. But Beau Greaves is playing this as if it's in a relaxed environment, isn't she? Down to 38 after 12.
98.
for the match and to set up a showdown with Fallon Sherrock in the final. And you can see by the look in her eyes what she thought of that dart.
22.
And she isn't able to recover the situation as she so often does. So Lisa Ashton to extend the contest.
Needs the ball.
58.
Fails to find it. So Greaves for glory and a place in the first final of the 4 events this weekend. Cannot get much closer. She needs, actually, she might ask Lisa Ashton to throw the dart for her, because this is similar to that double 11 earlier on. Beau does not know which way to go. She's gone the other side. So I can only assume she's aiming high here. High in this double 8.
Game shot.
Oh, she's found a way over them. It's a remarkable dart and a remarkable way to win the semi-final. And Beau Greaves, once again, will be in the decider, where it will be a showdown with Sherrock. Do join us for that. It's coming right up.